Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video we're going to discuss about equations. We're going to solve more complicated equations. So let's get started with that. The first equation that we have, it's mostly, we can see that it's multiplication, since this one is out of the parentheses, meaning we'll multiply and then subtract and add. So let's get started and see what we have for question 1. It says 2 times 3x subtract 7 plus 4 times 3x plus 2 equals 6 times 5x plus 9 and plus 3 at the end. So first thing we're going to do is obviously multiply to simplify it a little bit. So however we're going to multiply is, this one is out of the parentheses, right? So we multiply this by first this value in the parentheses and then this value in the parentheses, and it comes with this, the sign. So 2 times negative 7, that's how it will be multiplied. So let's get started with that. So the first is 2 times 3x. Now don't forget the variable. If you forget the variable, the whole equation will be messed up. So 3 times 2 is 6x, because you're multiplying 2 by 3x. Now we have 2 times negative 7. It is going to be negative 14. And negative sign will be the sign in this one, because negative times positive is negative. Now 4 times 3 is 12x plus 4 times 2 is 8 equals, we're going to simplify the other part of the equation. So 6 times 5 is 30. So 30x we're going to write. Plus 6 times 9 is 54. Plus 3. We're not going to multiply the 3 with the 6 because it is out of the parentheses. The ones that are in the parentheses are supposed to be multiplied with the ones outside. The outside was 6 and we multiplied it by 5x plus 9. So the next thing we are going to do is combine like terms. So to do that, we're going to first put the like terms next to each other, and which will make it easy for us to add or subtract them. So to make it easy for us to find the like terms, we can circle these every number, including the sign. So the sign is for negative 14. It's supposed to go here. The sign here is positive 12x. And the sign here is plus 8. And we can do the same here, but we don't really need to because the like terms are right next to each other, 54 and 3. So let's first complete this one. So 6x, and we can see that this has an x too, which means these both are like terms. So we can write them right next to each other. 6x plus 12x. And we see that none of the other ones have an x, so they're unlike terms then. So negative 14 and plus 8, these both are integers, so we can write them next to each other. So negative 14 plus 8 equals 30x plus, now easily we can add these two, so 54 plus 3 is 57. So it's the like terms that are written right next to each other. So now we're going to do this. So 6x plus 12x is going to be 18x. Subtract, so negative 14 plus 8 is going to be negative 6x. So negative 14, let's draw a number line here, a small number line. Negative 14 is right here, this is the 0, and so this is negative 14. Negative 14 is here, and plus 8, which meaning we are going this way because this is the positive side, so we're going this way. So plus we're going to go here 8 times, so which is basically 14 subtract 8, which is going to give us 6. So where we're going to end after 8 hops, 7, 8, we're going to end up at negative 6. So this is going to be negative 6. The negative sign and 6. Now we're going to rewrite the other side of the equation. 3x plus 57. Okay? So let's erase this. So we have 18x subtract 6 equals 30x plus 57. Now that's a way more simplified equation than the one we had in the first place, the question we had, the one we had as a question. So now we will simplify this and add and subtract more. So what we are going to do now is subtract 18x because we are going to use x's only here. So x on the one side and the numbers on the other side. Subtract, and whatever we do here, we're going to do the same. Why we are subtracting here? Because 18 is actually a positive number, so we're going to do the opposite thing to get a 0 in the end. And so we're subtracting 18 here, so we're going to subtract 18x here too. So we're going to be left with 16, negative 6 equals 30 minus 18x is going to give us 12x plus 57. So now what we're going to do is subtract 57. Because as I said, the number's on one side, the variable on the other side. And subtract 57. So negative 6 subtract 57 is basically like, let's do another diagram a little bit. So this is negative 6, this is 0. Negative 6 subtract, meaning it goes here, 57. So we go here. So it's basically 57 plus 6. So what 57 plus 6 will give us is negative 63. If you add 57 plus 6, you will get 63. But since it's going to the negative side, we're going to add a negative sign here. So negative 63 equals 12x. Now we're going to divide both of the sides by 12 because that's the one with the variable. So we get a 1 here, and we can simplify this. So 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 1 is 3, right? And negative sign here. Since this is negative 63, it's going to be negative 21. So our answer for this equation is that x equals negative 21 over 4. That's our answer for the first equation. Now let's move on to our second and our last question. So here we have our next question, our second question. So it says, let's take a look at what it says. It says 6x plus 7, which is divided by 4, plus 3x subtract 5 divided by 7 equals 5x plus 78 divided by 28. So we see that it's basically fractions, which meaning it is going to be more of division, and then multiplication and subtraction and addition. So it's basically all of the mathematic signs And so let's start with what we are going to do the first thing. So we are going to do is multiply both of these sides by 28. The 28 that we have here, we're going to multiply these two fractions that we have by 28. So let's do 28 times 6x subtract 7 over 4 plus 28 times 3x subtract 5. So 28 times 3x subtract 5 over 7 equals, and we're going to rewrite the second part of the equation that we have, which is 5x plus 78 over 28. And since we multiplied this side by 28, we're going to do the same thing here. So we can put this in the parentheses and write 28 here, which means we are actually multiplying it to 28. So let's first do this part. So we can simplify this because 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 7 is 28. So it's basically, let's rewrite it. 6x subtract 7. So it's basically 7 times 6x subtract 7 because this one is crossed out because we had a 1 in the denominator. Plus 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 4 is 28. So 4 times 3x subtract 5. And here, the other part of the equation that we have, we can cross out these because we'll have a 1 in the denominator. 28 times 1 is 28. Equals 5x plus 78. That's what we have. So, as we did in the first question, we're now going to multiply them. We're going to multiply them by first multiplying this by the first value in the parentheses and then the second value. So 7 times 6x is going to be 42x. Don't forget the variable. 7 times negative 7 is negative 49. Positive times negative is negative. Plus, we will have 4 times 3 is 12x subtract, because this is a negative sign, this is a positive one. 5 times 4 is 20, so subtract 20 equals, this one we are going to rewrite it like that. Plus 78. So now, as we did before in the other question that we had, we're going to combine the like terms that we have here. So let's do that. First thing we're going to do, we can circle them with their signs, and then we can write them right next to each other. 42x plus 12x subtract 49 subtract 20 equals 5x plus 78. So if we do that, we will get 54x. You're adding them. Subtract negative 49, subtract 20 is basically like negative. So let's make a little model here for number line. This is 0 and this is negative 49. Subtract means we're going here 20 digits, which meaning 49 plus 20, which is 60, and 9, so 69. Negative 69 is what we have. 5x plus 78. The other part of the equation that we have. Now let's erase the double model that we did. So what we're left with here is 54x equals 54x subtract 69 equals 5x plus 78. So now what we are going to do is we are going to first subtract 5x from here because only the variables here. So subtract 5x and subtract 5x. So if we subtract 5x, we'll get 49x. Subtract 69 equals 78. So now I'm going to solve the rest of the equation that we have here. So we are 49x subtract 69 equals 78. So what we can do now is we are going to subtract negative 69. We're going to add 69 instead of that, and so we will get a 0 here. So add 69 and add 69 here. So over here we will get a 0, so it will be 49x equals, so 78 plus 69 is 147. Let's do that to make sure that we are not wrong. So 8 plus 9 is 17, and this one 4, so 147. We are not going to divide them by 49 because 49 is the one with the variable x, and this too. So if we divide 147 by 49, we will get 3. So our answer for the second and our last question is x equals 3. That's our answer for question number 2. So that's it for today's video. If you guys like this video or learned something with this video, you should give this video a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed the channel yet, please subscribe the channel and hit the notification bell so you get the reminder whenever a new video comes out, and so that you don't miss out any of our new videos.